Well, as firefighters in Southern California continue to increase containment on the Palisades and Eaton fires, people there are bracing for yet another round of Santa Ana winds. The Palisades fire is now 59% contained, and it's burned more than 23,000 acres.
And the Eaton fire is now 87% contained. It's burned about 14,000 acres. 27 deaths now have been confirmed as a result of these fires.
You know, and the images that we're seeing from California of all the fire and the aftermath, it is surreal. It is so hard to believe. And Troy, I know you've covered so many natural disasters in the past. Seeing you out there last week, I mean, it was really incredible, you know, the images that you brought to us and all the devastation. What was that like?
It was impactful. You know, I've been to several urban wildfires is what I call them, because this fire behaved like a wildfire. It wasn't like a house catches another house on fire. It was a wave of fire pushed by very strong winds coming over a mountain and taking out really two full communities. There's some video and some pictures I shot. I want to go ahead and show you. So we got there Thursday morning very early. This is the first thing we saw in Pacific Palisades, Tram, a flood. And you're like,
that's something that we don't see during a fire.
No,
yeah.
And so I couldn't figure out what this was. So either this was broken water mains, or they were dropping so much water on this area. Wow. But as soon as we leave this, you'll see we're driving through, and we were almost concerned that the news car wasn't going to make it through.
Yeah.
And nobody was allowed back in here. I don't know what all these residents are. You see police, but look, right as we turn the corner, look at that. The whole neighborhood is just gone. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with Pacific Palisades. There's a little downtown area, a little grocery store. There's also a Ralph's there and a bank and shops. Everything behind it, including the downtown, was totally gone there. And okay, I thought I had a little bit more behind that, but if not, okay. So now let's show you some more Palisades. This is another picture. So again, I was talking about the downtown area. Go ahead and take this. So this is like just behind the downtown area, and that's a Tesla. It was gone. And see, you see things like this. They talked about having no water. This is a water softener that was still leaking water after that fire. But as far as you looked, that's what it was. I mean, things were burnt down into powder. And again, and Pacific Palisades is a beautiful neighborhood, tree line. And it was like I call it like a forest of chimneys is what it looked like there. All right. And then we moved on to the Eaton fire, which is Altadena, which is another beautiful suburb of Los Angeles. And I'll show you what we saw there. Does it come up? Okay, so there's a picture of it there. Again, you go through there, you could hardly see anything. Do we have more of this to put up? Okay, they're going to put it behind us. Oh, and I saw peacocks. You know, I asked T in here. He said he's from Altadena. I said, did you have peacocks down there? But yeah, we found peacocks.
My goodness.
Just kind of roaming. I don't know if they were able to fly out of there or make it or what they did.
The fact that wildlife made it out okay, I mean, that's incredible, considering how, you know, how strong those winds were, how massive those fires were.
They were lucky. And then we did a live shot here at like 1 o'clock, I think on one of your shows, when people got together and brought all the clothing and bedding and food. Yeah. And this is just, what, 2 days after the fire?
That gave me chills when you were out there and talking to those folks and just, you know, how desperate they were and how grateful they were to the people who donated. That was so touching.
Yeah. And well, and you talk about lucky too. To put up my last video here, this is also Altadena. So this is like the most famous house in Altadena, or one of them anyway. Did you watch 90210?
I didn't, but I know of it, of course.
Brandon and Brenda's house from 90210. So that one made it, and you can see the house next door is just gone. You know, and these are big homes in that area. I put this up on Instagram. It got 6.5 million views. So obviously people were interested in that show. But, you know, again, and I'm out of time with this, and I'll talk more about it tomorrow morning. I'm going to be on the morning show tomorrow and on 12+. But what I'm left with is, what are these people going to do? Do you just scrape this stuff down with a bulldozer? I mean, you'd think it'd have to be years until you can get these houses back up again. In the meantime, where are these people going to live? Right? And a lot of these people,
that they need.
Yeah, they're not rich people. You know, their houses are expensive. Maybe their grandparents bought them for $50,000.
Passed down.
Exactly. And now they're living there, and you know, had to rebuy a house like that. And then also a lot of people didn't have insurance, or their insurance underinsured their home. So we'll talk more about this, I'm sure, coming up in the weeks and months.
Well, we appreciate you being out there. I know it was tough to cover.
It was a very interesting experience, and I'm glad we could bring it home to the viewers.
It was good to see you out there.